Shalom, shalom. Before I begin, all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Rachah HaKudash, Yahweh being the true name of who the world ignorantly calls God, and Yahweh Shai being the true name of who the world ignorantly calls Jesus Christ, in the Paleo Hebrew, the Lashawan Kodash, the Holy Tongue, right? And I want to give double honors to the elders and apostles of Great Millstone that taught me this truth and rule well. And peace and mercy to all you sincere Akim pushing his word in sincerity and truth. To the 144,000, the house of David, the elect, Shalom. To Brother Dama Agabar from JMS Los Angeles with another lesson. Lord willing to feed the lambs and sheep of Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Shai and give you warning of the things to come. And this lesson is going to be off of this article from the Telegraph titled Cut Off from Food, Ukrainians Recall Stalin's Famine, which killed 4 million of them. All right. And I'm doing this because this is a very good, lesson to do and history to learn of what happens when a war-stricken country, or when famine is produced upon the country, which we see that is part of these elites' plan to happen here in Babylon the Great, which is ultimately really prophecy, and it's really the will of Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai, right? But the Lord is just using Esau, Edom, and these elites in these different situations around the world to implement this coming famine, the beginning of sorrows on the planet Earth, man. And as I was reading this article, it just shows you exactly what is going to happen here in America when, this great famine comes here, man. And it's going to be multiplied. It's going to be more than 4 million of people, 4 million people that's going to die in this, in this great coming, in the time of Jacob's trouble, in this great time of sorrows and death that's about to hit Babylon the Great, aka America, right? And as I read this article, it just shows you how bad things are going to get here in America. It's going to get even worse than what this article is telling you, okay? And then we have all the scriptures and prophecy to back these things up. And this is really a warning on you Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans who are the biblical Israelites, who are here in America right now, walking in your great pride, walking in this sense of nothing is going to happen. The judgment of the Lord is not going to fall upon you, and things are going to continue to go on as they've been going on here in America, man. But you are going to be in for a rude awakening because, as this, the fourth industrial revolution kicks in, and as, Esau shows his horn and this devil comes down with great wrath, you people are going to suffer here, man. You're going to starve to death, and you're going to witness and you're going to have things that's going to happen to you that's written in this article, all right? And this is history. This really happened in Ukraine during the 1930s. And guess what? It's going to happen here in Babylon the Great in these times, man. So without further ado, man, I'm going to read this article, man. And this should, put the fear of Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai in you, man. And this is why we've been telling you Jakes to repent, man, because this is coming to America. This is coming to you, your children, your family, and everybody that you know here in Babylon the Great, man. And they're going to make what Stalin did look like a walk in the park compared to what these elites are about to do to you American citizens here in Babylon, man, and around the world, so that they can bring in this new world order. We've seen this done before during the time of Joseph in ancient Egypt, man, when the dearth was so, the famine was so hard upon the people, they basically gave their lives and their souls over unto Pharaoh for food, man. All right? And this is exactly what these devils are about to do to you people, man. Especially during the time of World War III. When this World War kick off, man, that's when famine really is going to get hard. That's when supplies are really going to be strained, and things are going to be extremely straight, all right? So you better get right, Jake, and wake the hell up and stop bullshit, man. So let me get into this lesson. Lord willing, you be edified, all right? It says during the worst of the starvation. It says, during the worst of the starvation, when Petro Mostyov was a child, he was afraid to venture to a nearby hamlet because all of the residents there were dead. They were still in their houses and barns, but for weeks no one had been able to bury them. You see, the scriptures tell you it's going to be like that, man. It's going to be so many dead bodies out here during these the time of Jacob's trouble that nobody's going to bury these bodies, man. Nobody's going to even think twice. You'll be stepping over corpses of dead people, babies, animals. You see? It says houses filled with the dead were commonplace in Ukraine in the 1932 and 33. Those who collected the corpses knew where to stop if they saw ravens nearby. And sometimes the emaciated living were carted away with the disease, all right? And that means those that were starving, man. They were so weak that they couldn't even get themselves up off the ground, were just carted off, man, to go die somewhere, man. And the scriptures tell you that better is he that died with the sword than he that dies of famine and that pine away. That's what these Ukrainians were doing during that time, man. And it's coming here to Babylon, man. You people better wake the hell up, man, and really get yourself right, man. It says, desperate, starving people, deprived of their livelihood by ruthless edicts from the Soviet dictator Joseph Stalin, were forced to eat grass, tree bark, flowers, rats, dogs, and in the end, their children. Historians have recorded, man. You see that? And that's what's coming here to Babylon, man. That's the judgment of the Lord that's coming here on America, man. And for 2/3 of you Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans who are not right, man. And for you stupid, simple American citizens here, man. This is what the elites are about to bring to you people's doorsteps, man. They're going to starve you out. And like I said, they're going to make what Stalin did look like a walk in the park. All right? These elites are not playing, man. They're bringing the same thing over here to Babylon. They said they were forced to eat grass, tree bark, flowers, rats, dogs, and in the end, their children. Historians have recorded, man. You see? And this is what's coming to you, Jakes, man. Because guess what? The Lord is going to allow Esau to do these things to you, man. Let's get this, man. Deuteronomy 28, all right? Yes, we know, this is part of the curses, man. This is going to be part of the curse that the Lord is going to allow Esau to do to you, Jake, in these last times, man. He's done it before, and guess what? He's going to do it again. This is Deuteronomy 28 and 52. And he shall besiege thee in all thy gates. Look at this word besiege. All right, because that's what's coming. That's what he's about to do. You know, with all these so-called coming cyber attacks, and he's going to lock down everything and, shut off the economy. You won't be able to go to the bank. You won't be able to move. You won't be able to do anything, man. He's going to shut off these cities. He's going to stop access from you from leaving your houses or going into the next city or trying to flee from all the things, from all the things that's coming upon you. Get this word for besiege. All right? Because Esau's about to show his horns, man. He's about to come down upon you people, man. He's ready to bring in this new world order, and it's being accelerated, man. And you, Jake, ain't ready. You're not ready for the battle. You haven't been spiritually preparing yourself for this, man. All right? And you've been blowing it off thinking that it's just some joke and that these days were ever going to happen in your lifetime, man. But, history speaks volumes, man. And you can learn a lot from what happened in Ukraine during the 1930s. What's going to happen here in the immediate future of America when the same thing happens here, man. And these devils are already preparing it for you, man. So like it, man. I'm in this back room. The internet runs kind of slow here, but Lord willing, this goes through. All right? Because Esau is going to besiege you people, man. He already has executive orders in place when all hell breaks loose to do particular things like this, man. To besiege you, to cut you off, man. To shut off you from leaving different cities and towns, man. Bringing in the military. Come on, man. Time for this. So bear with me. All right, there we go. And the word is Tazarah. And it says besiege. An enemy, distress, bind up, vex, afflict, besiege, an adversary. Right. And what is an adversary? An enemy. And who's your main enemy? Esau, Edom, man. To you, Jakes, man. It says straight, trouble, bound. Yeah, you're going to be bound. Pangs. It says to bind. And bind means to tie somebody up. It says be narrow, be in distress, make narrow, cause distress. You're right. You're going to be in distress because, you're not going to be able to wiggle around. You won't have food. You won't have water. You won't have access to daily essentials, man. And it's all being orchestrated by these damn devils to bring you to your knees, man. So that you can be begging for his beast system and be begging for his Karagla, man. It says to bind, tie up, shut up, to be scant, be cramped, be in straits. All right, and straits means difficulties. It says to make narrow for, cause distress to, press hard upon, to suffer distress, show hostility toward. Yeah. They're gonna use these troops to show hostility. You're gonna say, I know my rights, yada yada. They're gonna bust you in the mouth, man, or just blow you away, man. It says to show hostility toward, treat with enmity, vex, harass. See? And that's what's coming, man. And your main enemy, Esau Edom, is about to do these things unto you, Jakes, man. And we have been warning you, man. And like I said, who's gonna allow it to happen? Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai is, man. The Lord is sending this devil, man. You know, to get you, you wicked Israelites, man. All right. And this devil is already bringing it, man. What do you think all this inflation is about? All these rising gas prices, the price of food, the supply shortages. Now they done shut off the major producers and exporters of wheat and grain. You know, they've cut off those things from coming to Babylon, man. So what the hell do you think is gonna happen in the next couple of months, man? This devil is coming down with heavy hell on you people, man. All right. Let's get this NFT real quick. Let's see what that got. You know? So it's a very serious time, man. And we've been telling you, Jakes, to get serious. Stop playing around, man. You know? Because Esau ain't playing around. He's bringing this shit of full force, man. And he's looking to mainly get you Jakes, man. You tribes. You Israelites, man. You see? And the Lord's going to allow this devil to come down one last time, man. Salaki, again, just bear with me, man, you know, because there's a lot of good information in that article, man. It's just a foreshadowing of what's about to happen here in Babylon, man, which these prideful, lackadaisical people don't think is really going to happen, man. They believe somehow, some way that they're going to bind and they'll come together and unify and fight against these elites, man, and get them to change their mind and to take their foot off the gas, which ain't going to happen. You know what? Scratch that. I don't want to keep waiting. It says, and shall besiege the, no, where was I? Yeah, it says, and he shall besiege thee in all thy gates until thy high and fenced walls come down. Like I said, this, you know, this happened before in history of the, you know, especially Esau coming up against Jake. You know, they did it during the time of the Greeks. They did it in the time of the Romans, you know, Masada, 70 AD. And they're going to do it again in this modern day Roman Empire known as America, aka Babylon the Great, man. And that same enemy, Esau Edom, is going to do this, man. It says, until thy high and fenced walls come down, wherein thou trustedest throughout all thy land, and he shall besiege thee in all thy gates throughout all thy land, which Yahweh thy power hath given thee. Look, and thou shalt eat the fruit of thy own body, and the flesh of thy sons and of thy daughters, which Yahweh thy power hath given thee, in the siege and in the straitness wherewith thine enemies shall distress thee. See that? And that's what happened here in Ukraine. And that's what's going to happen here. What it say? They were forced to eat grass, tree bark, flowers, rats, dogs, and in the end, their children. Historians have recorded, right? It says people died in the streets, on sidewalks, in train stations, in farm fields, and on country roads. Death everywhere, man. Right? And we're all going to have to be prepared for the stench of death that's going to be here in Babylon the Great, man. The stench of death and constant ravenous birds flying in the sky, circling these dead bodies that are going to be out here, man. It says about 4 million of them perished in the great famine known as the Holodomor, or death by hunger. And that's coming here to Babylon the Great, man. You know, this is coming here, man. What is this? It says the beginning of sorrows and great mournings, and that's what's coming here. You know, the same thing that happened in Ukraine in the 30s is coming here to Babylon, man. And the Lord refers to it as the beginning of sorrows and great mournings, the beginning of famine and great death, the beginning of wars, which is coming. World War III is on the horizon, man. And you know, famine and hunger is a huge part of wars, man, because you know, import and exports avenues are all cut off and paralyzed during those things, man. Food ain't gonna be readily coming in and going out. All right, these businesses are gonna be closed, man. Food is not gonna be readily available. It says, and the power shall stand in fear, the beginning of evils. What shall I do when these evils shall come? Behold, famine and plague, right? Because all that death and all those dead bodies is gonna cause plagues and sicknesses and, you know, all type of diseases, man. It says tribulations and anguish are sent as scourges for amendment. See, the Lord is sending these things. The Lord ultimately is going to make these things happen here in Babylon the Great, man. You know, as they called it over there in the Ukraine, the Holodomor, or death by hunger. It says today, as Ukraine battles Russian invaders and the dead again lie in the streets of places, including Mariupol, there have been they have been cut off from supplies. Memory of the famine and its links to the Kremlin remain strong. The famine is one of those. The famine is one of the things in the back of the heads of Ukrainians who are fighting on the ground," said Anne Applebaum. Blah blah blah. Let's see. Get to the point. Get some more of this meat in here, man. It says, 13% of the Ukrainian population perished, Applebaum wrote, as Stalin enforced collectivization, the seizure of private property, livestock, and equipment by the state, and brutally punished peasants for failure to meet quotas by taking the last of their food. And this same United States government has executive orders on the books that can do these same particular things, man. They have executive orders in place where they can come and seize your property, seize you, your food, your animals, your livestock, your farming equipment, and even you of whatever skills you might possess, man. So you, these things are coming here to Babylon, man. They already prescribe the different measures and laws in place to do these things. It says, also fearful of Ukraine's simmering nationalism, Stalin applied economic sanctions to regions that couldn't fulfill government requisitions. Yeah, they're gonna, you know, shut off your bank account, man. You know, they're gonna do that with these different cyber attacks and shit like that. You know, it says, just as now people jammed into trains to try to leave the country, the stations were lined with begging peasants with swollen hands and feet, the woman holding up to the carriage windows horrible infants with enormous wobbling heads, stick-like blimps, and swollen pointed bellies, wrote the Hungarian journalist Arthur Koestler, according to the Conquest. You see? And I think that's the same guy that wrote the 13th tribe. I could be wrong, but I know his name is similar to that. You see? But you can see what the hell was going on, man. Everybody was starving, man. You know, people was in a very horrible state, and that's the same thing as that scripture is called the beginning of sorrows. And those things are going to come here, man. A lot of people are going to starve to death, man. You see, it says, "Behold, victuals shall be so good cheap upon earth that they shall think themselves to be in a good case," like these Americans think right now. They think because things are still going on as usual that they're in a good case, that things are always going to be this way. That even when these supply chains disruption happen and you know shelves get empty, they always think that America is always going to break through and bust through and be the land of plenty, man. That the storehouses are always going to be filled, the trucks are always going to be running, and food is always going to be, available. You see, it says, "Even then shall evils grow upon the earth, sword, famine, and great confusion." It says, "Many of them that dwell upon the earth shall perish of famine." Like I said, 13% of those Ukrainians died. It's going to be a huger percentage of people here in Babylon that's going to die when the great famine hits here, man. It says, "And the other that escaped the hunger shall the sword destroy." Yeah, because people are going to be out here killing each other, man. Busting each other's heads open, invading one another, stealing each other's goods, man. Doing all type of crazy things that they never thought they would have done just to eat, man. And also eating their children, man. Eating their neighbors, eating their cats. Like I said, they eat tree bark, leaves, birds, rats, whatever the hell they can get their hands on, man. You see, and it says, "And the dead shall be cast out as dung, and there shall be no man to comfort them, for the earth shall be wasted, and the city shall be cast down." And that's what happened here. They told you that it was dead bodies all on the streets and the train stations, all up in the houses, man. Just death everywhere you went, man. You see, this is very serious, man. It says, a Communist Party official from Venestia, 160 miles of Kiev, wrote to Stalin in 32, "All the peasants are moving and leaving to save themselves from starvation. In the villages 10 to 20 miles, with 10 to 20 families die from hunger every day. The children run away to wherever they can. All of the train stations are full of peasants trying to get out. Corpses appeared in the Kharkiv rail station and on the streets of Kiev. 400 bodies were removed from Kiev streets in January." Look at that, 400 dead bodies, man. In February, 518 were collected, man. Just bodies everywhere, man. And I just read that, man. That's what's coming here to Babylon. What? The dead shall be cast out as dung. Like shit, man. Just gonna be out there, man. Ain't nobody want to pick it up. Nobody's gonna scoop it up. They're just gonna be out there, stinking, man. You see? It says, "There shall be no man to comfort them. The earth shall be wasted, and the city shall be cast down." Right? It says Stalin's solution was to close the Ukrainian border and make it difficult for people to escape or go from village to village inside Ukraine. And that's what Esau's going to do here, man. He's going to shut down these cities, man. You're going to have military checkpoints. You're not going to be able to leave one city to go into the next city, man. They're not going to allow you to do that, man. It says he sent in special requisition brigades to scour the homes of the starving for hidden goods. You see, man, that's what's coming here, man. Look at this. It says, I'm gonna jump down. It says, verse 27. So that one man shall desire to see another and to hear his voice. For of a city there shall be 10 left, and 2 of the field, which shall hide themselves in the thick groves and in the clefts of the rocks. Yeah, people are going to be hiding because, you know, they don't know. You know, they're going to have these different troops out here going house to house, invading houses, stealing goods. You're going to have cannibals out here running around. You're going to have people just out here just crazy as hell, just murdering people, man. It's going to be complete and utter chaos and fear, man. What was Oh no, I want to go here. Get this here. Where was it? Here we go. It says, Second Ezra chapter 15, verse 14. It says, "Woe to the world and them that dwell therein, for the sword in their destruction draweth nigh, and one people shall stand up and fight against another, and swords in their hands. For there shall be sedition among men, and evading one another. They shall not regard their kings nor princes, and the course of their actions shall stand in their power." Because when all hell is break loose in their lawlessness, people are just going to be out here, every man for himself, man. They're going to be invading, running on people's houses for food, jackets, shoes, boots, water, whatever, man. Drugs, alcohol, whatever they can get, man. That's what's coming here to Babylon, man. And you got these elites orchestrating, you know, some of it to a degree. While they're hiding out in their bunkers, they're going to let all hell and chaos break out on these streets and then come with the order out of the chaos and a solution to fix everything. But it's going to require you to sacrifice your soul unto them by getting with this beast system, man. They're going to allow you people to kill each other and to eat each other, eat babies, do all manner of crazy shit, man. It says, "A man shall desire to go into a city and shall not be able." And that's what Stalin did, man. He cut off people from leaving one city to flee to another city, to try to find food, try to find, you know, family or whatever, man. Esau's going to do the same thing. You don't think that these elites study what Stalin did in Ukraine? Shit, you know, they had a hand in it, man. They studied it and they know what happens when things get that serious and when things are to that level of people are that desperate, man. And like I said, and they already have these executive orders on the books to do these things, man. It says, "For because of their pride the city shall be troubled, the houses shall be destroyed, and the men shall be afraid. And man shall have no pity upon his neighbor." Why? "But shall destroy their houses with the sword, and spoil their goods, because of the lack of bread, and for great tribulation," man. All right, just starting to click here. You starting to see what's coming here to Babylon the Great, man. What these elites are about to, you know, allow to happen here. It says, where's the other point I wanted to get? Okay, here we go. It says, Hannah Lakivna Onada remembered that a neighbor had hidden flour under her baby's cradle. Applebaum reported, but the brigade found it. She was crying and begging them to leave it because the baby would die of hunger, but they took it all the same. Look at that, man. That's what these devils are going to be doing, man. These troops are going to have orders to do that, man. Take whatever you find, all right? It's yours, you know? Fuck these people. Leave them there, all right? She was hiding flour. They took it and said, "The hell with you and your baby, man." It says, "Crucifiers," she called them. The result was a catastrophe. Where's the other point? Here we go. The horror, the exhaustion, the inhumane indifference to life, and constant exposure to the language of hatred left their mark, Applebaum wrote. Combined with the complete absence of food they also produced in the Ukrainian countryside a very rare form of madness, cannibalism, all right? People went mad, man. People went crazy. And these elites studied the, you know, how long it takes for basically for a person to resort to cannibalism, man. All right? Like I said, once these people ain't got no more grass or bark or flowers or anything to eat, they will eat each other, man. Listen to this. It says, "Many survivors witnessed either cannibalism or, far more often, necrophagy, the consumption of corpses of people who had died of starvation," she wrote. You see? And the Lord is going to allow these things to happen. I read that in Deuteronomy 28, that in the straightness and in the seeds you shall eat your children. They were even eating dead bodies, man. It's going to get that bad out here, man. And you see why we need Yahweh B'Shem Yahweh Shai, why we need divine intervention, why we need the Spirit of the Lord and His protection to be with us during these times, man, because it's going to get that bad out here, man. We are going to witness people resorting unto cannibalism in real time. You know, we're going to see these things. We're going to see all type of manner of crazy things that'll bug you out, man. That's going to bug a lot of these people out, man. And if you don't have the spirit of the Lord with you, man, you good luck, man. All right, and that's why we constantly pray and remain humble and try to please Yahweh Bashem Yahushai so that we can be shielded and protected from these things, man. So that we don't bug out when we see shit like this, man. And it gets worse. Look, one Ukrainian, Mykola Moskalenko, told of his village concern about a neighbor's missing children. We entered her house and asked her where her children were. She said that they died and she had buried them in the field. We went to the field but found nothing. They started a search for her home. The children had been cut up. They asked why she had done this. She answered that her children would not survive anyway, but this way she would, man. And that's cold, man. That's a very cold demonic spirit the Lord put on that woman to cut up her own children and eat them because she said they were going to die anyway. They're not going to survive, so shit, I might as well live. And ate her children, man. Cut them up, man. Can you imagine? You just got to imagine you being in that spirit of desperation and hunger to eat your own babies, man. Cut up your own kid and eat them raw or put them in a pot or however the hell she ate it, man. And that's horrible, man. That's terrible, man. I tell you that the Lord is terrible, man. The Lord will put the spirit on you to do these things, man. You see that? What did it say here in Deuteronomy, man? Thou shalt eat the fruit of thy own body, bro. It said that they reported to what's it called? Necrophagy? When they were eating dead bodies, man. It says, and thou shalt eat the fruit of thy own body, and the flesh of thy sons and thy daughters, which Yahweh thy power hath given thee, and the siege, and in the straightness wherewith thine enemies shall distress thee. So this is what Esau is about to bring upon a lot of you people, man. He's going to bring this upon you jakes out here, man. And he ain't going to care. He's not going to bat an eyelash. He's not going to give not one shit about you or your children, man. And that's why you need to get with Yahweh Hashem Yahushai, man, and walk in fear and trust in the Lord, man. Or you will resort to these things, man. That says, you might hear some news of that, man. You might go to your relative's house and you might ask where your niece or nephew is, and they're going, now they're not going to have an answer, man. Because they ate her, man, or him. Cooked them up, boiled them up, put them on a damn shish kebab. I don't know, however they did it, and they ate their own children, man. And drank their blood, man. It's a terrible thing to fall into the hands of the living power, man. It says, in the Sumny province, about 200 miles east of Kiev, a deranged man was arrested for eating his daughter and son, according to Applebaum. A neighbor noticed that he had seemed less swollen from hunger than others and asked why. I have eaten my children, he replied, and if you talk too much, I will eat you. Come home, bro. You see that, man? The Lord's going to put a lot of perverse spirit on these people out here, man. And I really firmly believe he meant every word that he said. If you talk too much, I'll eat your ass too. Because if he ate his own children, what is it for him to eat you or eat your neighbor, man? You see? And this is the times that are coming here to Babylon the Great, man. The Lord ain't playing. We've been telling you this, man. You see? It says, the man shall have no pity upon his neighbor. Right? He's not going to have no pity. He'll eat your ass too, if it comes down to it, man. Let alone steal your can of beans or your ramen noodles, man. He'll chop you up and put you in them noodles, man. It says, and spoil the goods because of the lack of bread and for great tribulation. You see? And this is what's coming here to Babylon, man. And that's why when I saw this article, I was like, man, this is, hey, this is what it is, man. It says, a 6-year-old boy who had run away from home was asked why he had fled. Father will cut me up, he replied. 2 of his sisters had already vanished, man. Since incidents were well known to the authorities in Kharkiv, 9 cases of cannibalism or necrophagy were reported in March 1933. 58 were reported in April. In May, there were 132, and in June, 221. And those are just the ones that were reported, man. There is no evidence that Moscow did anything to address the tragedy. The famine peaked in the spring and summer of 1933. In May, the Soviets approved significant aid for Ukraine, with food originally seized from the peasants themselves, Applebaum wrote. Grain quotas were reduced. Repression was even. That's what's happening now. The grain quotas have been paralyzed, man, coming from Ukraine and Russia, which is basically a provider of 50% of that, man. Like I said, let's not forget how expensive this gas is. These truckers not finna be gassing up, man. and filling up these trucks and going state to state and bringing in all these foods. They already have all these farmers destroying their crops and not producing anything, man. So you have to be you have to see where these things are headed, man. All right. Mm. It says, besides the starvings were not the victims. The starvings are provocateurs. Snyder said that communists maintained their bloated bellies are deliberate provocations against the Soviet regime. Blah blah blah. Let me see what else they got. It says the head of the sensitive. Anything else? And they denied it, of course. They're saying, but hey, and that's what this devil does, man. He's a damn liar, man. The main point, man. And this is a great foreshadowing of what's coming here to Babylon the Great, man. And what happened in Ukraine is a perfect example of what's going to happen here in Babylon, but on a greater scale, as 2nd Ezra 16 and 15 tells you, man. As Deuteronomy 28 confirmed, man. Hey, and we're still, these curses are still upon our people, man. And the Lord is going to bring that Deuteronomy 28 chapter all over again. And he's doing it by the same enemy, Esau Edom. You better read about Masada and how Esau, the Roman Empire, stopped. He besieged it, man, and cut off all manner of food and water from going in. To where Jake up there starved to death. What did they do? They ate their leather belts. They ate the leaf off the trees. They ate their children and ate each other, man. And Esau knows that history, and he's going to implement that same thing all over here in Babylon the Great for you Jakes and for you American people out here, man. So this is history that's about the that you read about, and you see what happens when these type of things happen, man. And like I said, and these elites are doing this. They're about to do this. They're going to implement it, and they're going to bring it upon everybody, man. All right, they're going to bring you to your knees. They're going to starve you out. Let me get this real fast. I'm telling you, this devil's about to show his horns in a major way, man. All right, and he's not going to pity the old, the young, whoever, man. You all going to get it. Get this last precept, and I'm gonna get out of here, man. And what it is, man. That's why we're in very serious times, man. We're all about to be, but putting very straight and hard times, man. This devil's about to besiege us and make life very hard, man, and very straight. All right. This is Revelation 12 and 12. It says, therefore rejoice, ye heavens, and ye that dwell in them. Woe to the inhabitants of the earth and of the sea, for the devil, which is Esau Edom, is come down unto you, having great wrath, because he knoweth that he hath but a short time. See, Esau is running out of time. He knows that his rulership is just about up. The prophets have prophesied his downfall. Israel is being raised up. The elect is being sealed, and Yahushua is on his way, man. So he's going to try to do all that he can in his power to try to bring in this new world order and his technological blessing, which is going to fail miserably, man. But the Lord is still going to allow him to come down with great wrath, man, and to destroy a lot of you tribes, man, a lot of you Jakes, a lot of you Israelites, man, a lot of you people, man. But the elect is going to be delivered. The elect is going to be, delivered out of these things, man. Whether it be by death unto faithfulness, or whether it be you make it through all of this and be beamed up in the chariots, man, and watch the lake of fire and watch Babylon the Great burn, man. But like I said, I just did that just to paint the picture of what's coming here to Babylon the Great, man. So Lord willing, you were edified. Lord willing, you were fed. And if you knew in this truth, hey, get right, repent, and take this thing seriously, because serious times are coming. Shalom.